right. Hello everybody in YouTube land. Thank you for attending the last example demonstration I will be showing. Thank you for sticking around this long. We're going to show you how to make a sink mat for broken glass plate negatives. So what we're working with are numerous pieces of double-walled board. So again, use the double wall, don't try to glue these together. And if you have any scrap from cutting and preparing, keep all your scrap and you will see why as we go. So what we started with is we have an example glass plate, which is really just a piece of plate glass. Ideally, if you're doing this in the real world, you're going to use this and you're going to have your emulsion up. If you choose to do this as well, I also prefer using clean hands as opposed to wearing gloves because it's easier to do things, especially as you're working with adhesive. Okay, so again, we're starting, this is our base. So I want to start with two, sort of, as I said, right angles. Okay, so I have some scraps here. They're ready to go. I'm gonna line these up, make this really fast. So these are planned out. So I'm just trimming because I want to make a really nice right angle to start with for when I'm putting the glass pieces within the sink mat. So when you're putting these pieces in your container, you want to use tape. Don't use glue because it can get messy, especially because you're going to start working with the object as you go. Okay, so the tape I'm using is just 3M415 double-sided tape.
So here tape is okay?
Here tape is fine. Okay. So again, I'm just starting to put these in. Okay. Ideally, you put the whole length, but we're running low on tape, and this is a demo, so I'm not doing the whole dimension. It's okay if it's not 100% perfect, but it's a good start. Okay? Follow? We've got the base. Okay, so now I'm going to prepare for the spacers that go inside. So I'll use another scrap, another piece that's ready to go. So rather than trying to cut little pieces as you go and put tape on individual pieces, you will lose your mind. So what you're going to do is you need to find a scrap where you can see the corrugations. You don't want it this direction, okay? So you want to see the actual ripples. And I am a neat freak, so I'm going to put the blue side up, and I'm going to use the 3M415 1/4 inch. Okay, this is a lot of fun. So I'm going to just line this up so you can see the corrugations. Oh, I know, isn't that great? So we're going to just line this up against the edge. Okay. So now what I've done is I've created a long strip. Okay? People know where I'm going with this? Okay. So I'm going to use a ruler and cut against the tape edge. Again, I just want little pieces. Don't do this in the other direction or your pieces won't work. They won't be strong enough because there's only going to be a corrugation or two that will hold up. This is still very strong even though it's just a 1/4 inch thick. Okay? So then what you're going to do, things will go flying. So you're going to use your blade like a saw. And you're going to just cut little pieces. Okay? Fun, eh? So you want to have a bunch ready to go. If some don't work or some too big, that's fine. It's better to have too many than not enough. Okay? So I'll do a couple more. Great. Okay, so I've got my little piece off the side if I need more. Otherwise, I've got this little collection of little pieces. So if you want to pass a couple around so you can see what they're like. Fantastic. Okay, so again, we've got the corner ready to go. I'm going to start with my left piece. So I wedge it into the corner as such, and then you just peel the tape off the backing. Okay?
And you're sticking the tape to the bottom.
You're sticking the tape to the bottom, and again, because the tape is not coming in contact with the image. Your emulsion is up anyways.
You're putting the image starts against the corrugated.
Yeah.
The corrugation.
Yes.
The image surface is up.
Yeah, but the side of the.
Oh, the glass.
Yeah,
is
exactly.
actually
So there's
parting
nothing is being in contact with
the
your
emulsion.
image. Yeah.
Right, okay.
So your image will go out as you go. Okay?
Makes sense.
So you want to just be careful of any sharp edges. And you can do multiple pieces of tape. It's up to you.
Makes so much sense.
Okay? Now we're starting to do the third. So again, we've butt up against this one edge. Again, if you were doing this for real, you'd probably be a bit more aware of touching the image surface, but this is just for fun. And then we have our fourth. Okay? So at this point, actually I'm going to put one more piece in. At this point, you have an option. So you can continue to wedge in with little pieces, or you can actually measure in and cut an actual piece. So at this point I'll measure. So I've got, again, this is just a scrap anyway, so I've got about 2.5 centimeters to work with by 10, sure. So I've got another scrap ready to go. So I'll just measure this out quick. 2.5, 2.5 by 10. Ooh, I did terrible math here. Okay, okay. All right, so let me just score this first. And so you can see how little scraps are really helpful as you go, because you do end up using everything, whether it's for, again, you're making your little pieces or fleshing out your sides. Just trying to go super quick for the demo. I'll just use the thin stuff for now, but again, if you wanted to use thicker, you can. So I want this to be, I'm going to make sure this is flush, and I'll wedge that in. Okay? So things are not moving. Okay? And then from here, with a longer scrap. Fantastic. Like demos. Nice and fast. Okay. Same idea. So, as I was mentioning prior to doing the video, if you had just flaky emulsion, you can do the same technique, but just you don't have to use the spacers, and you can just put a piece of acid-free tissue or paper, excuse me, over top, and I usually hinge it with a piece of 3M415 on the side, cover it up, and put like flaking emulsion below, so people understand what's going on. Yeah, thank you. I'm just making sure it fit. So then we have your sink. It should work.
Wow.
I was like Dairy Queen.
Okay, so the next part is